the Hawaii Blues fan is not effing happy at all. At all. Let's welcome in Ian, who's probably really happy right now. But I'm pissed. That was, first of all, I'm not taking anything away from the Wild. The Wild played a great game tonight. But they had help, right? Especially in the third. The refs were getting that last penalty, that hooking on Mikkola. You can watch Greenway grab Mikkola's stick and pull it into him with the ref right there, and the ref calls it on Mikkola. That should have been holding the stick.
Deal, though. You got to understand the context of that shift. Mikkola was chasing Foligno around that entire time.
Okay. But holding you can't grab a guy's stick and pull it into your body.
That's what happened is that the ref was just like, that's it, and he called one.
No, they called it when Greenway grabs a stick and pulls it into his body. Oh, Lance doesn't like where I'm going.
No, I don't. No. My point is that I understand what Ian's saying, but if you're going to go and say enough's enough, call a 2-minute on each one of them because they were both doing something at one time that was bad. Call it, even it out, and play 4-on-4.
Mikkola didn't hook. Mikkola's stick was grabbed and pulled into the body. That's holding the stick, and that's embellishment. That should have been a double minor. I'm sorry, the NHL's got to crack down that, and it happens a lot.
Guys,
it happens a lot. And
you know what? But don't be sorry. Don't be sorry for your opinion. It's your opinion. Don't ever apologize for your opinion.
Right? I'm with you, whoever this is. I think it's Brian Baldwin.
I've
got a couple of guys that are on there.
I'm not angry. I'm very disappointed at how this team came out in front of the hometown fans, where they've played very well this year. It's just terrible. And it doesn't help the fact they've lost all their defensemen.
Oh, Binnington's starting the next game. If Binnington doesn't start the next game, the fire Berube chance will be coming next. Right? That was absolute dog shit by the Blues tonight. Absolute dog shit.
Was that poodle dog crap, or was it like German Shepherd dog crap?
No, that was bulldog, big ass bulldog.
Oh, that was a whole steamy load.
Yeah,
looking like Marmaduke out there.
Yeah, that was just it was bad all the way around. I mean, look how many empty nets they missed. Right? That's power play,
dude. That should have been a 4-2 game. But I'm glad that post. I love how Fleury always thanks his post. That was
yeah.
Ian, that fourth goal should have never happened. It should have been a 3-2 game.
Yeah,
I suppose.
I agree with you there. No, I'll tell you what. Goal 2, 3, and 4 shouldn't have happened. We should have been in OT.
Let's just call it out, guys.
This game is on Husso. Abso-fucking-lutely. Sorry about that.
I think you guys' defense was just not up to snuff tonight, guys. I'm going to be honest, and I think that's a big reason why you guys didn't. I think exactly what we were calling happened tonight, where your guys' defense was just too hurt and too banged up, and they weren't up to snuff. We'll see what goes on next game. I think maybe you guys are going to. I expect a big bounce back game. I think you guys are going to tighten it up quite a bit next game.
Yeah, it's going to have to. Next game's a must win. You know what, Jose? I love you, buddy, and that's you're right. I can bitch about games all I want, and they do need to come back. And there was some good play by some of the Blues. The Blues' fourth line was the only line that really played well. Okay.
Yeah, and
Bozak and Joshua all played well.
I like Jose's comment that those guys did play good. But I guarantee you, Berube's not in the locker room not right now saying, Joshua, you were great. Torchenko, you were great. No, he's not talking about that. He's talking about how bad 90% of the rest of the team was.
Yeah.
Right. No heart. I mean, there's just no – I didn't see – they got down 2-0, and I really didn't see a big sense of urgency. Now, I watched the NHL feed, and they were going on like the Blues played pretty good, and Minnesota just played that much better, and – I don't see that. Minnesota played a good game. They played the game they wanted to play to win the game. But the Blues did not play their game. They just didn't.
Yeah, and I think you could after that, like after the third goal, you could really tell. After that third goal, you could tell. And the building went quiet, and there was almost nothing.
Yeah, it was like, oh no, here we go again. Another game too is what it was like.
Yeah, no, it was just it was game two. You know what? It was game two from the opening fucking face-off. And yes, I'm going there. I'm in the F-bomb. Sorry. Right away, I'm sorry. When that Kaprizov scores that second goal, this is where you have a chance to send a message, and you didn't. It was time to yank Husso. This is not new. This is not new. And Bill Braden, now the last time he did it, I understood. This time I don't. I think it was, you got to win the face-off. You have to win the face-off. You don't pull him until you win the face-off.
This made no sense to me. Even as a Wild fan, that
zero sense.
As when the Wild pulled the goalie all the time, I had no idea why he pulled the goalie there. That was just mind-boggling to me.
Well, that's what they said. Yeah, you did, Jose. I knew someone said that O'Reilly was going to score.
Yeah, Jose did,
and that's great. But the thing is, yeah, that was the. If you win the face-off, I'll tell you what. When you do that, the other team knows how important this face-off is. Win this face-off in the game. 7 minutes left. We can end the game. You give them that incentive to win that face-off. You leave him in until the face-off. Then you have him run up, right? You get that face-off. You get on the cycle, and then you bring him in. Then you score a goal.
You can have him sit at the blue line even if you wanted to. You know.
Yeah.
Well, actually, the farthest he can go up. Well, actually, then that's still telling him that you're going to pull the goalie. You don't want him to know you're going to pull it because that you've given the incentive to yank him. Right. If anything, you have them come up. Just a lot of times on a face-off, they'll come up to the to the circles.
Yeah, to the halfway to the. I thought it was mostly to the hash.
Yeah, and I understand.
Yeah, the hash marks, the middle of the circles, right?
I didn't agree with what Berube did in game two, but I understand Guy's point and why he did it. I do understand that. But me as a coach, if I'm down by 3 goals, I'm not pulling the goalie. Now, if 5 minutes left, I get a goal to make it 2 goals, then I pull the goalie. A lot of people think this is all on Husso. Husso didn't have a good night by any means, but this team's defense, their defense was dictated by Minnesota's offense. They let Minnesota, and Ian, you could see it. The Blues weren't attacking the puck holders very much. They were standing back, staying in there. And when the Blues got a power play, what did Minnesota do? They were all over them like flies on crap.
Now, what did I say? I said if the Blues are going to win this game with how their defense is, the forwards need to back check. They haven't been back checking, and it showed tonight. They're I think they're 19th or something like that in the league, analytically in team overall defense because they just don't. The forwards don't come back and defend. You needed the forwards to do that tonight, and it didn't.
Yeah,
happen.
and that's why
a little business.
Yep. Go ahead.
Hey, Mark Hudson, Houston, thanks for joining us. I'm Guy, the Hawaii Blues fan, the host of the BlueNote Fan Report. Joining me tonight is Lance Scott from The Drop and from the Minnesota Wild Fan 57. Ian, thank you for joining us. Please, guys, don't forget to give that thumbs up on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter. Let us know how much you care about this show and share it with your friends. Let them know that we're here doing pregame, postgame, intermission shows, talking about the game and the team that you love and the teams you love to hate. Ryan Green, Jose Figueres, Tammy Pemberton, thank you so much. Agree with Guy. Should pull 35 at the start of the second. No, should have pulled him at the start of the first. I'd have pulled him. No, I'm sorry. Okay. Let's look at this at the surface. Okay. The surface gives up 2 goals on 3 shots. No big deal. It happens, right?
If he's not in the net, he can't give up any shots, right? Any goals, right?
Well, hold on. Let's go under the current of this.
Good point, Ian.
Let's go under the current of this. He did the exact same thing in the game before. He has a history of it. It's back. He's doing the exact same stuff he did last season. So if it's the same, I'm sorry, at that point, when you look at the undercurrent of this, I yank him. I put Binnington in there, and I send a message to the team: we're not going to allow this shit anymore.
And I think for sure, if Binnington doesn't start Game 4, I will be very, very surprised. I feel like he had. You won't, Lance? You don't think so?
I don't think so, because I think Berube's up on the mountain that he's on, and nothing.
No, he's got to pull him. He's got to switch.
I
got to switch.
I think what he's going to do, he's going to put Huso in, and he's going to make it to where if he does what he did again, then he'll pull him. And this game, Guy, I will agree with you. I would have pulled him. The last game, I wouldn't have. But this game, I would have pulled him out when it was 2-0 or 3-0. Definitely 3-0, because at that point, it's in his head. And you could tell for the rest of the game, just by watching his body language in the crease, he wasn't confident. And you cannot have a goalie in the crease in front of the goal that's not confident.
Well, here's Trexan, my Wild fan that likes to troll me a lot, which I don't mind, guys. I don't mind other teams coming on. I really don't.
We enjoy it.
Yeah, they just said the Wild.
Yes.
They did have 9 odd man rushes, right?
And you know what?
Poor passing.
Yeah. Do you know what Ian said? You know why they had those 9 odd man rushes? Because our forwards didn't back check and didn't go back to play D quick enough. That's why they had those odd man rushes.
Brunovich is on LTIR. He is injured. He had surgery. He cannot play. Letty is a question mark. It all depends on how he feels. He did not skate today.
It's like I said earlier, from what I was told about Letty, if the game goes longer, he will most likely be back. Bortuzzo most likely is not going to be back.
And now I think Krug's done.
Oh, I think he is too.
Done.
I think he is too.
Well, I didn't really see what happened. I know he kind of just bounced off a Boldy. I don't know. It was
there was a guy, I know a buddy of mine was sitting down right where the Blues go out when they're injured and when they come back and forth. And he said the look on Krug's face said it all. You could tell it wasn't, I'll be back out or I'll be back next game. It was like, he's so disappointed. So I'm hoping it's not that serious, but.
All right. Daniel Russo, welcome to the show. My name is Guy, the Hawaii Blues fan, and I'm the host of the BlueNote Fan Report. Joining me tonight from the Minnesota Wild fan base, Ian, and from the Drop Hockey Podcast, Mr. Lance DeScott. We're your hosts. Well, we're the guys giving you the pregame, postgame, and intermission show where you can talk about the team you love. This is Guy Bensing, Bleeding Blue, with you, the Hawaii Blues fan. And please don't forget to put them thumbs in the air. Let us know you care and share this show to all your friends. We really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Krug went after Boldy and missed and looked like a knee on knee. Chief and 50 has some kind of fallout. And I see that. I really do. But you know what? The time is over, right? The time is, if you're going to salvage this series, it's him that's going to do it.
And Guy, I've talked about Berube's and Binnington's relationship. I wouldn't say they hate each other, but I will tell you this, they're not big fans of each other's personality.
You know what? Neither is Tarasenko, and Tarasenko had one hell of a year.
Yeah, he did. That's exactly right. But it just, you're not always going to get along with your coaches, but you should respect them enough to where you're going to play for them.
Tarasenko pulled a Brett Hull and told Berube to shut the F up.
Mm-hmm.
And surprising, and this is the thing, coaches like that, real stern coaches like that, absolutely love that.
Yeah,
they love a player.
They want that out of a player. They do. And that's one thing. Binnington on the ice, he'll wave that stick, like he did in the one series at the player, and he'll do stuff like that. But from what I've told, he's kind of quiet and kind of goes about his business. But I think if he got into it with Berube probably would be like, yeah, I love this.
First of all, Trexan, it was the 85 World Series.
Yeah, 85, buddy.
And that was the first World Series that the home team won every game. The 87 World Series. And that was the first time the home game won every
game
in MLB history that the home game won every one. And the reason I know this so well is because with Game 7, I was in boot camp.
Oh,
I was on service week.
Yeah.
I was on service week. And
can you tell me who was pitching?
No, I can't, because I was on boot camp. I wasn't allowed to watch it. But the next day, the Minnesota Twin Ball Company came into service week, and everyone knowing that I was from St. Louis and I was at a drill hall, I got a hold of 4 guys from Minnesota, and I made their lives living hell for the next 3 days.
So, Ian, I think what Guy's trying to say, he's kind of had a chip on his shoulder for Minnesota for a long time.
Listen, I wasn't even alive for the 87 and 91 World Series.
You youngster.
I have never experienced a Minnesota major sport victory. I mean, besides the Lynx are the only team.
Well, wait a minute. When were you born?
The last, I was born in 2002.
Oh
wow.
my goodness!
Wow.
You young pup,
God,
you.
you're younger than my kids.
I just turned 20 on the 2nd.
I
Wow. have kids older than you.
My kids are 30, 31, 29, and 27.
I have a 27 and a 26-year-old, or 27 and 25-year-old, somewhere in there. My daughter's birthdays are kind of close, and they're born close. So it misses me up some. But wow.
And I'll tell you what, Guy has 2 very beautiful daughters, and from what I've seen online, they're very nice kids, and Guy raised them right. So
thank you. I appreciate it. I think Berube needs to mix the line. Berube needs to finally put the Russians back together.
I would like that.
I can't believe he didn't do it tonight.
I would like that. And you know what? Did you notice how good Thomas and Kyrou looked together?
Oh, yeah.
Put them together.
Right? Thomas, Kyrou, and Shin. That might be. Thomas, Kyrou, and Shin. Put Perron, O'Reilly, and Saad together. And then put Barbashev, Tereshchenko, and Bushnevich together. And you've got the perfect setup.
Is Buchnevich a right
to go against? Say again.
Is Buchnevich a right or left winger? I think he shoots right.
He can play both.
He can play both, but his real position's right wing.
Yes, you wouldn't. And I think Saad's a left wing. I would.
But here's the thing. He played left wing when they were together.
He played left wing.
The line was together. He played left wing, and they were freaking fabulous.
He's one of the few guys that can transition, and it's much easier for a winger to go from left to right than it is a defenseman. I think it's
because Vladdy can play both left and right wing.
Yeah,
he can. Vladdy, while he's playing right wing, can swing over to left.
Well, if you notice tonight, he got some chances on the left side.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. Right.
Hey, Ian, I give
game 4 that doesn't improve the defense.
Yeah,
but Binnington will make better saves than Husso does, and Binnington will keep the game closer.
I know for a fact.
The defense is an issue.
Yeah, I know. You know, people will say, Guy and I talked about this the other night when people said, well, if Binnington was in, he would have won. And normally I say no, but I will tell you I'm 99.9% sure that second goal that Kaprizov got, Binnington would not have let that in. He'd have played that perfectly.
Husso, and I that's why I'm working on a song for him based on and let me see if I can get it.
Well, when you're thinking about it, I'm going to say something to you. Ian, do you think there's a question as to who starts in goal in the 4th game for the Wild?
I'm going to say no. Oh, and I know that was a funny question because obviously not. But I mean, you saw some of those big saves he made. I know Thomas Rang went off the post, but he was when the Blues were pushing when it was 4-1. He was solid. He didn't.
I will definitely say this: Fleury had some harder shots to stop than Husso did. In all honesty.
Yeah, and that's why I'm so that's why I'm so surprised that you're saying that they're not going to switch out Husso in Game 4 because I really do some of those shots that Husso let in. Like the one off the skate really because I'm a Wild fan. I love the Kaprizov scored, but that's one that you cannot let go in if you're that team. That's just one that you cannot let go in, and I know.
And you know that second goal, it kind of. Because I know Guy said, and I'll agree with him, that third goal kind of deflated him. But that second goal, you could just kind of see Husso go, oh.
Mm-hmm. He goes, oh.
And as a goalie, you can't. You put your head down, you skate around a little bit, you get back in the crease, and you forget it. You think the game's still 0-0. And I don't think he was able to do that tonight.
Okay, here we go. I'm thinking about making a song for Husso to Paul Simon, Slip Sliding Away. And calling it flip-flopping all day.
Flip-flopping all day.
Flip-flopping all day.
Well, that's kind of Fleury style too, though, eh?
Say again?
That's kind of Fleury style. He goes across. He's always fishtailing around, but that's just
the thing is.
Here's the thing. Here's the difference between Fleury and Husso. Number one, Fleury's been a great playoff goaltender.
Yeah.
Number two, most of the time, Fleury is just like Binnington was in 2018-19. They're in control of their bodies. They don't have to flop and move around a lot. They're seeing the puck well, and you don't see that loss of control. And lately, I've seen that in Binnington, not Binnington, but Husso.
Yeah. I think Jose's blaming Slapshot now for not being on the live streams. It's her fault we lost.
I
good one, Jose.
The
Go ahead.
Save there. I mean, I I know here because comes with an extra because O'Reilly did end up scoring on the power play when the reentry in the zone. But that cross crease save, I think it was on Thomas. I believe it was on Thomas.
Yeah. Yep.
That was just a great save. And
the one where he was right in front of him, and all he had to do was stick it through his pads.
Yeah.
That was the one that we need to make.
If you noticed about him, did he slide all around? Did he? He was in control of his body. A goalie that slides around too much is either not confident or he's not in control of his body, and he's lost.
This is a good question, and right now Brady. I can't answer it.
I can't either
because we don't know the extent of injuries, right? And that's the thing. We got to know the extent of injuries. So,
hey, Ian, real quick, I want to thank you for the job that you do. I really appreciate firefighters, and just like every kid until I was about 6 or 7, I wanted to be a firefighter or EMT. So I do appreciate what you do. It takes a special person to do that kind of stuff. Not everybody can handle it, and I know it can be taxing on you mentally because you see a lot of bad things. My brother-in-law was an EMT and used to tell me about bad accidents. He'd go into detail, and it's tough on you mentally and physically, and people don't understand that. So I thank you for what you do.
Yeah, no problem. It's tough some days, but it's really rewarding.
It's rewarding, yeah. Yeah, well, when you go to somebody's house and a baby's choking on something, and you're able to get that baby's airways clear, you go home at night and you think, man, did I really do that?
Yeah, and with HIPAA and stuff, I can't talk to so much about some of that stuff.
Yeah, but I understand.
It's just it's a great feeling when you're able to help somebody out.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate it, even though you're not in our area. I'm sure the people of your town appreciate you too.
Oh yeah, we get the thanks all the time.
Yeah.
Why are you all surprised that the beast called Eck? Because he's finally having a good game, good series.
I'm not surprised at Ekman Larson. I mean, Ian and I picked that he'd score the first goal the other night. Ekman Larson's a good player.
I said this after the first intermission. I said, stop hitting and start playing.
That's right.
Bernie said they need to stop looking for a hit and play their game. Absolutely.
I remember.
Yeah, in the 2018-19 Cup run, the Blues did hit, and they were physical, but they didn't go out of their way to hit.
And you guys, some of you guys have been laughing at me for saying this, but I'm comparing him by team. I'm not saying that Eck is the same player as O'Reilly, but Eck is like the Wild's O'Reilly. He drives the team. He's just that kind of player.
And that's a fair point. Yeah, I think O'Reilly is an overall better player than Eck.
Oh yeah, well.
But Eck has got a motor that doesn't stop. If he's on the ice, he's in control of what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. But I mean, you've seen him in spots where you're like, how did he get over there? And it's just all energy and his will to play. And tonight, people don't talk about this enough. The Blues were not having fun playing, and Minnesota was having fun from the drop of the puck.
Well, here's something. Timothy Kellerman, by the way, Timothy, welcome to the show.
Yes,
I'm Guy the Y Blues fan, joined by Lance and Ian. This is the Blue Note Fan Report. We're your only pregame, intermission, and postgame show where your opinion is as important as ours. He says Binnington has to start Game 4. If this team loses in the first round again, somebody will be the fall guy. And I know who the fall guy should be. It just won't be him.
Well, do you know what I said? What did I say before this series when we were all talking with the Windy City Hockey? I said, Berube is going to live or die by Vil Huso, and I still believe that.
Oh, no, and here's the thing. I really do, too, and I know he just signed an extension, and it's almost guaranteed, but you're going to have to think of something.
But I will say this, and I know people are going to say, Guy, you and I hate Berube. We have both given him credit for changing some things this season. He's done a good job with certain things. He definitely is different than he was, but some of his decisions he makes just don't quite make sense. And I know people are going to bring this up. Guy, you and Lance don't know what you're talking about. Why aren't you GM? And that's just no way to respond. We have our opinions. You can agree, you don't agree. It's great to sit and talk about them.
Yep, I agree completely. And this is a good one. Here's an interesting question. How short does Berube's leash become if the Blues exit in the first round? I think it becomes really short.
Here's what I think. I think Armstrong will question it, and I think he'd give him one more year. But if the Blues do something similar next year, I don't think he'll be back.
I think that the Blues need to come in second or win the division to keep that.
Yep.
Right. I really do. I don't think a third place. I don't think another third or fourth division is going to win. You went from winning the division, right, You went from being third in the division, winning the division, then you went to fourth in the division to now you're third in the division. That's not good.
And to be fair, this year we just the Central Division is completely loaded.
Yes, it is.
But I see what you mean. I don't know how much of an excuse I'm not trying to throw out excuses for Berube here, but I have to, because Colorado and Minnesota. I'm not trying to pump my own tires either, but Colorado and the Wild are both very, very, very good teams especially in the regular season. So
Dallas is a good team. Even Arizona has given the Blues some troubles.
Yeah, no. Well, Arizona beat Avalanche twice.
Yeah,
on almost back-to-back nights.
Yeah, I would say the Central. If you look at it, any team could beat any team any night, and a few of the other divisions, you can't say that all the time.
Yeah, agreed. And I want to talk about something real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hopefully, this isn't too far off topic, but I was thinking about this earlier today as well. Should be pretty quick, but what do you guys? So Vegas missed the playoffs. What do you think they do from here? They gotta shed salary somehow, right?
There's talk of either Stone or one other top player being moved, but I will tell you this:
Stone's going to have to retire.
Yeah, I don't see it, because their GM, I thought, did things very good at first and was kind of setting him up for I don't think he set him up like the Kraken GM set him up for long-term success eventually. But I thought he set him up
for short-term success, and now they got to deal with the reparations of that. I want to address this.
Yep.
This is the exact same thing that we said last playoff when Perron got COVID and Falk got nailed by Kadri, and I think it was Bortuzzo got his nose broke by an elbow.
Yep.
Oh, we had all these injuries. I'm sorry, that can't be an excuse 2 years in a row.
No, it can't be. Here's the thing. It's like I said earlier, and I think, Guy, you and Ian both agree with me. We understand that there's going to be a drop-off a little bit sometimes.
Yeah.
But what sets teams apart is when guys come in and play their role and they do what they're supposed to do. And the guys that are coming in, I hate to say anything about them, but they're not doing the role that they should be doing. Are they as good as Leddy offensively? No. Are they as good as Krug offensively? No. But you've got to still do your best out there.
Hold on. I want to do something real quick. I absolutely applaud Ryan on this. We need a better defensive system. Absolutely. We needed a system where our defensemen play defensive first and offensive second. They can be good offensive defensemen, but they need to be defensive defensemen first. Yep,
I agree. I've always liked teams with their defense had the ability to score, but that wasn't their mainstay. And hey, it's good to have a defenseman that can score, but I'd rather have a defenseman that's scores 5 goals and 15 assists, and we go to the Stanley Cup, than a defenseman that scores 18 goals and 32 assists.
And we lose in the first round.
We lose. Yep.
Right. No, they just tried to beat up on the Wild tonight, and the Wild were ready for it.
Yep.
Right. The Blues, the Wild outplayed the Blues tonight.
Yeah, they did.
I'm not taking anything away from the Wild. They outplayed the Blues tonight. They had the better game plan. They stuck to it, and they executed it. Yep. I give that. However, I do think if you don't allow the second and third goals, this is a lot different game.
It is a different game.
That second goal changed this game, and because here it is. You do the same thing you did the last game, right? And I'm not getting off that. This is a pattern with Husso, right? He did this all last season. It was the biggest thing they talked to. It's why Binnington never came out in the playoff rounds, because Husso would give up the goal in the first 5-6 saves.
Yeah, and right? One thing about this game, Guy, and I'm sure you and Ian will agree with me, I like the way Minnesota didn't let up. If the Blues would have had a 3-0 lead, I think Berube would have went into a defensive shell. They still were going after Husso. They were still trying to score, and they played the game the way it should be played. I don't care.
Last 5 minutes until the empty netter.
If I don't care if you're up 5-0 with 15 minutes left. Yeah, you got to be responsible defensively, but keep pouring it on. You don't want to let up on the team.
Yeah, and that was my big problem with last game, is that what the Wild did is they got their lead, but then they
Yep.
kind of lit up on their reins a little bit
Mhm.
too much, and the Blues got that cycle.
Yep.
So this is a great game by the Wild. I'm really happy with what they did.
Yep.
The only gripe I really have is that they still couldn't hold the Blues off the power play goal, which is a bummer, and you hate to see that. I mean, as well, you guys probably love it, but
they just showed the Kaprizov goal, and if you watch when Kaprizov goes by Husso and he's down, he scrambles to get to his legs, but he's so far out. That's why Kaprizov fires that in there. It's because of where he's at. He can scramble to his feet, but you got to scramble backwards, not forward. You got to stay in the crease, not out of it.
And
stay in the crease, he doesn't fire that puck at you.
That one goal that I think Zuccarello scored.
Yeah.
And I was thinking it before Panger even said it. Husso needed to come out about another 12 to 18 inches to take that far side out of his eyesight. Instead, when Zuccarello got the puck, he backed into the goal. You can't do that.
Oh, no.
Trexon, so Trexon is calling me out. Coming into this series, your selling point was offense. It is still offense.
It's still offense.
It's still offense, but I'd like to keep your guys off the fucking board.
That's the only way you guys are gonna. The way you guys are gonna win is if you outscored or you shut us down. You haven't won yet. So
Ian, you're spot on. Everybody talks about how great the team played in the last month and a half with the Blues. They were outscoring everybody. 5 goals, 4 goals, 6 goals, 4 goals. Yep. That's why they were winning. They weren't winning on their defense.
Even I knew that this series isn't going to be who can score the most. This is going to be what team is going to be the first one to shut down the other.
And the least amount of mistakes, Ian. The team that makes the least amount of mistakes.
Bob, that's too late. They should have done it when he let in that Kaprizov goal is when it should have happened.
Yeah, I would have called a timeout there.
I'm sorry.
Yep.
And I know I'll get most people telling me that they don't agree with me and you can't do it there. It's history. It's not on the surface. You have to look at the undercurrent. You need to send that message right there because it happened the last game. Yep. And this was a repeat of the last game.
And guy,
what it was.
I'm all about letting a goalie play through it.
Yeah.
But like you said, when you see it in the last 2 games, some very similar play by Husso. And like I said, we're not putting the loss all on him, but he's played the same way in the last 2 games. And I would not have been opposed to bringing Binnington in when it was 2-0, or at least, the least you got to do, call a timeout, settle things down, do something to take that momentum away from Minnesota. But he didn't, and Minnesota came out in the 3rd period and scored that goal.
Yeah. No, it was, again, you goals, early goals and late goals kill you. That's what killed us tonight. It gave up 2 goals in the first 2.5 minutes, the fastest 2 goals Minnesota's ever scored in the playoffs. And then you give up a goal in the first 40 seconds of the 3rd.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You've killed yourself. You shot your own self in the foot.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even see the 4th goal because I was still trying to log off the stream yards.
The third goal was in the when was the 3rd goal?
It was in the
third.
second.
They didn't score in the second, did they?
No, I thought they won it 3-0 in the second.
The one that made it 4-0 in the 3rd.
In the 3rd, yeah. So in the second, yeah. I agree. You should have pulled Husso tonight. You absolutely should have pulled him. Well, guys, we're a little over 30 minutes in, and I see everybody dropping off. I think I've been loud enough. There will not be a show tomorrow.
Hey, guys, don't forget the game on Sunday is at 3:30 Central.
3:30 Central time, so the show will be 2:30 time. Trexon, you've just been trolling me, so that's all that is. And your defense isn't. The reason that your defense right now is better than ours is 3 of ours are injured. Man to man, no injuries. Our defense is just as good, if not better, than yours.
Hey,
so there's a big difference there.
Just so you know, so there will be a game 5. It's 100% that there's going to be a game 5.
Yeah.
And I believe that's on Tuesday. So I will not be able. I probably will miss maybe the pregame and the intermission because I actually have a meeting for my ambulance service on that night.
Okay.
I probably will miss that. Just so you're aware.
No problem, man.
Yeah. Just whenever you can join us. We like having you on.
Yeah.
That's why I've got you in that group. I send it out. If you want to join, you're welcome. Right. So tomorrow, instead of doing the show, I'm going to see Doctor Strange and the Master of the Multiverse in 3D.
Cool.
So well, it's going to be funny because I'm going to have 3 sets of glasses on. I'm going to have my glasses, the 3D glasses, and then I have to wear, because of my hearing, I have to wear the
I know what you're trying
glasses.
to. Yeah.
So I'm going to look really freaking weird.
You'll have like glasses on your nose.
Yeah,
it'll be this far off his head.
Glasses, you know.
It'll be this far off his head.
All up, right? You know, my ears are going to be all. I'm going to have to bring like a set of headsets just to hold my glasses on.
Hey, guy, you never know. You know how fashion, you know how trends start. You may start a trend.
It's not going to be a good one.
You can call it whatever you want, I suppose.
Right.
Yeah, I know. Guy always thinks everybody.
Another new guy. Timothy Kellerman. Welcome to the show.
I know Guy always thanks everybody, but I want to thank everybody for showing up. And there's no stupid opinion. There's no stupid statement. You know, we appreciate, even if we disagree with you, we appreciate all your comments, whether you're a Wild fan, whoever you are. That's why we have Ian on. That's why we have Windy City Hockey on. You know, that's why we have Maddie C on. We want other people's podcasts and vlogs to come on the show because it's fun to talk hockey.
Yeah.
Absolutely, it is.
Let's not run Flurry. That's not. I don't want.
I don't want that
us
either.
to run Flurry.
I don't want that.
You don't want us to put up a 6-spot on Flurry and have them have to, you know, switch goalies. Absolutely, no, I do.
That's not the way I play.
Right. I mean, we've ran him before. We ran him when he was in Chicago.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. That's because he's in Chicago. We don't hate him as much now.
No. Yeah, but. Yeah, I don't know. Well, guys, have a great night. We'll see you Sunday, 2:30 Central Daylight Time. That's like 9:30 a.m. for me, so I'll have to get up a little bit early and get ready to go for it. Guys, have a wonderful night. I'm going to walk to Subway and get me a sandwich. I'm my wife's out with friends tonight, so it's just me.
Enjoy your movie, guys.
Sandwich.
Enjoy your movie.
I'll do that tomorrow.
That's what I mean tomorrow. Enjoy your movie tomorrow.
Say again?
I was just saying enjoy your movie tomorrow.
Well, I appreciate that. Well, guys, see you Sunday. This is Guy, the Hawaii Blues fan, saying aloha mahalo, and you got to know I'm bleeding blue with you.
Hawaii Blues fan, we're bleeding blue with you. What?